Hi, how you doing? Tuesday, you got me. Sarah's on holiday. Well, she's actually been here sewing, so she's not really on holiday. She's just taking time at home, really. So I've got block of the week this week. I will be back on Thursday to finish off the No Doubt pouch because I completely messed it up. So I've unpicked it now, and I'll take it back to sort of the area that we were at, so that we can finish it on Thursday. Okay, so bear with me. What are we doing today? We're doing a puff quilt. Okay, block of the week we're doing puffs. I'm doing it because my niece took my mother's sewing machine home with her to New Zealand when they went back this time, and I get little post-it things come through saying I want to make one of these, and a puff quilt was one of the things that she wanted to do. Now she also wants to do a quilted jacket. However, that's not really a 1 o'clock thing. I'll sort it out with her when I do go over to New Zealand, and maybe we can make one together. But for a puff quilt, I can do her a pattern for that. So that's what we're going to do. Before we get on to that though, we've got an Irish chain quilt class running at 26th of October, I think it is. The Saturday, the last weekend of, I think it's the 26th, the Saturday before Halloween. Yeah, that would be about right. We've got that running. However, there's only a quarter of a class. So if you have thought, I'd like to do a double Irish chain, book on it, because otherwise we're going to have to cancel it. Okay, and that would be a real shame for the people that have booked on it, but at the moment it's not viable. I could sweet talk you and say, oh, you must do it, but I'm just telling you how it is. Well, it's not viable at the moment. So if you want to go on it, then book it. Either give me a ring later, or go onto the website and book yourself a deposit, which is only £10 for deposit. But at the moment, it looks like it's going to be cancelled if we can't get more people on it. Okay. Hi, how is everybody? What else have I got? Oh, there's a load of stuff going on the internet. Now, Sarah brought some of that fabric over. She's going to use it tomorrow. I can't see it here. She's making a bag tomorrow. And it's got like cartoony stuff on it, cartoony food, and we've got one with pizzas and one with tacos, one with burgers with wings, hundreds and thousands and donuts, and then a quirky one. So that'll be going on to the internet this afternoon, hopefully. So and we also have the new Brenda Riddle has come through, which is all sort of like spring greens and pale purples and lilacs and stuff, which is very pretty. And we've had a new kids one through. So all of those will be going on. So who have we got here? Let's have a look. So hiya Eileen, Louise, Linda, Marilyn, Lucinda. How are you, Cindy? How are you doing? Leslie Arkley, Ali. How you doing, girl? And won't be long and I get to have a coach. Ali, I'm really looking forward to it. Hiya Lynn, how are you? You received the Gecko fabric. Gonna have to keep it and ponder what to use it on. It is beautiful, isn't it? It's so vibrant. Eileen Thompson, please book Irish chain. Okay, I will put you on the Irish chain, Eileen. I'm sure you're on it, but if you're not, I will put you on there. That's not a problem. Hiya Irene and Angela. How are you, Ange? So, puff quilt. Ta-da! So this is the one I've done so far. I'm using a charm pack, right? I've got one row left to go on this, okay? It's not very big. It's big enough for a dog bed or something. I've only got one row to go on here. We've got new garden chairs coming. I might put mine on that. and see how it goes. This was one of my mum's, so it smells of my mum, and I thought it was quite poignant to do a tutorial for my niece with some of my mum's fabrics. So I did catch a whiff at one point over the weekend, and it did sort of bring tears to my eyes, but we're not going to go there. And it's really easy, a lot easier than I was expecting. So let's go over here. Hiya, Margaret. Anne, haven't seen you in ages. It must be at least 10 minutes. You are on it. Oh, you're encouraging people. I thought you were on it. I thought I saw your name. Right. Okay. So, charm pack. Charm pack 5-inch squares. If you wanted to make a baby quilt, I would go with a layer cake, because this is just not big enough. You get 42 squares, so 6 by 7, and it's just not very big. I mean, it's big enough. A charm pack is big enough for a baby quilt if you're going to use them flat, but when you puff them up, they don't actually look very big. So I would take a layer cake and cut it into 4 if I wanted it to be a lap quilt. Okay, so you want your 42 squares of 5 inches. Any size will do. If you've got scraps there, you can cut them bigger. And then you want 42 4.5-inch squares to go with your 5-inch squares. Now you could, if you were going to use a 10-inch square of these, there's a lot of puffing to go, but then you would want a 9.5-inch. Okay, take it down that 1/2 inch. I have seen patterns where they were using a 4, but that would be a small square and quite puffy. Piece of cake, really is a piece of cake. So you're going to put them wrong sides together, okay, into one of the corners. Sarah?
Yeah?
I don't think it's working.
It's not working.
The camera.
Are you frozen?
Yes.
Okay, right.
I've done all that talking.
Oh, oops. Yeah, no. 2 seconds.
We'll be back now. Normal
There you go.
thingy will resume.
There you go.
Okay. Right. Thanks.
You back? Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see fingers.
Yeah,
I can
there
see
we
fingers.
go.
Thanks, sir. Right. Okay. 5-inch squares. You're going to need your 42 5-inch squares from a charm pack, or cut your own. And then you're going to want 4.5-inch of a backing. Now, I had some of this at home and I didn't want to come back over the shop, but you could use calico, old sheet, anything, because you end up with the raw edges here, and you're going to bag it out anyway, or back it at least. Okay, so you want to, it won't matter what this is. I mean, I've got a linen texture and it looks really nice, but it's all going to be raw edges, so you're going to cover this. So you're going to have your 2 fabrics, and you're going to put them wrong sides together into a corner. Doesn't matter which corner, any corner, pick a corner, take it. Right, and then you're going to pin it together before you sew it. And I put my pins in diagonally into the corner, so that and away from the edge, because it means that I don't have to take it out as I'm going round. Now you're going to then take, I've put it into the top left, top right. You're going to bring your charm square to meet the corner, okay, like that. And then you're going to put another pin in that corner, like that. And then this bit of extra that you've got here, you're just going to pinch it. So you'll get 1/4 of an inch. Okay? So you pinch it so that it folds over by 1/4 of an inch. You want that to sit on the edge there, and you're going to pin that down. Now I'm using applique pins because I've found that they actually work the best. You're not fighting pins anywhere. Then you're going to take your next corner, going round clockwise, take your next corner and put it to the corner of your underneath fabric. Pin that in place, then you're going to pleat that corner there. Like that. Okay, and pin that in place. And we're going to do that with the next corner. Marry up the corners. I had 3 hands, I did. She's a handy person to have around. Ha ha! Right, and then you're going to pleat that there, like that. Put a pin in it, like that, and then pleat it again. So we're going to repeat that with the other 3. So you end up with like a knobble in the middle. Okay, so I've got 3 more to do. I should really have prepped 4, shouldn't I, and not 2. So I've got 6 in a row. So this is what it's like with big pins. So you're just going to work around your corners and pin them down, and then that extra bit in the middle, you're going to pleat it and put a pin in it. Okay, and you work your way all the way around. So while I'm doing this, let me tell you about my garden. So I've had the pergola built and the decking put down, and it looks amazing. I am so chuffed with it. So chuffed. In fact, I'm so chuffed with it. I don't want to be here talking to you. I want to be at home doing my garden. I want to go home and get rid of all the rubbish that's in there, paint the wall, and get it all ready for the hot tub to arrive. That's a big long pin, isn't it? I'm just so ready for the garden to be finished. And I was out there working away, getting rid of some plants that are just, you know, plant pots that are just full of weeds. And the wind blew, and the sycamore trees on the other side of the railway, I thought, is that rain? And there was these sycamore seeds just floating down. I was most unhappy. I've got sycamore seeds everywhere, and they just make me want to swear. They really do. So you can see where I've used long pins here, you've got quite a lot of pinnage in the middle. So the little pins are so much better. So again, wrong sides together, like that, so that they fit. This 4.5 inch square just fits into one corner, and then you go round and pin it in place all the way around. Finding all the little pins now, and then you pleat. It sort of folds over by about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, and I haven't been precious about it being dead center. I have to be honest. I don't think ultimately at the end you really notice whether or not they're. I know some of you are very particular, but me, I just pleated it wherever it's sat, generally in the center. You just want it to sit flat all the way round though, like that. It's one of those things where it's quite a forgiving pattern. You've been wanting to make one. It was a lot easier than I thought. I mean, it's one of those things that I've thought about. I did do something similar for what are they called? The chair cushions. I did make something similar, but then we put it onto. We sort of puffed it out and then put it onto a. Can't think what it's called. Foam, didn't we? We put it onto a square foam. So it's a similar type of thing. So one more to go. I do like this one. I know a lot of you don't like purple, but I do. I love a bit of purple. Purple and pink. Right, so that's a bit crooky. Last one to go round, and then we'll sew them down. Okay. So I'm going along here. I have the pattern for Dave. I'm going to make a Dave. I've got a Dave. Now, that's the other thing, is you can go round and pin all your corners and then go back round and pleat. I didn't find it quite so satisfying. I have to be honest. I found that I fought with it more as I went round, because you need to keep your bottom square, your smaller square, you need to keep that flat-ish. I did try and think about whether or not you could do it with like a French seam type thing. I think if you did it as an overlocker, you could get away with not putting a bottom on it if you overlocked all your seams. Yeah, if you put it together with an overlocker, you could probably get away with it, because you're not going to see it, you're sitting on it. But as a quilt, I would put a cover on it. There we go. So now we're going to take it over to the machine, and we're just going to sew on 3 sides on all of them. Okay, 1/4 inch all the way round. All right. So it would be amazing for scraps. I think if I was to properly make one, I would make it from scraps. But I wanted to use my mum's thing, so I didn't go with my petites. So I'm sewing this now at 1/4 of an inch. You need to lock off the stitches at the beginning and the end, because you're going to be manipulating it. So you want to be able to maneuver it. So you want to, maybe not quite that far, but there you go. Alright, that's one. So you, and if you prep them all, I mean, I prepped maybe 10, sewed those, and then prepped another 10. It doesn't take any time at all then. There we go, that's number 2. So what's the weather like with you lot? You haven't missed much, hon. Jane, I'm sure you'll be able to catch it. It's not actually raining here, and it's supposed to get sunny this afternoon. So I'm hoping that by the time I go home, there'll be a bit of sun for me to go out into the garden and get rid of a few more pots. one more. It's proper easy sewing, really. Oh, go back. There you go. One more side. Oh. Raining in Wantage. So where's Wantage? How far up is Wantage? Oh, I'll give you a flash. Right, okay. So we now have our 4 pieces, and I've done 2 more there. Okay. We're going to take all the pins out. So I did start with leaving the pins on the open side in, but you can't stuff it with pins in. So you might as well just take them all out like that. So that's 1, 2. So I'm assuming Wantage is further north. My geography is pretty shocking. Oh, it's not north, it's west from Oxford. So actually, you're not that far away, Louise. Oxford is doable. We went to a pub once before we had the shop. Sarah and I used to do jewellery, and we'd do jewellery parties. And we went to a pub in Oxford to do a jewellery party, and ended up on the way home. We were talking so much that we ended up in going down towards Southampton. We completely missed the M4 turn off. Right, so you're going to put these into 2s and pair them up. You're just going to make sure that the your open end is all at the same side. Otherwise, you could end up closing them. Okay, so you're going to put them right sides together, and you're going to sew another 1/4 of an inch down here. Now, it depends on how fussy you are about whether you see your stitching. I used an orange at home, so the stitching that you can see is okay. This one, I'm using a white, and it disappears into most of it. So you're just going to put them together and sew down 1/4 of an inch down the side. Hi Melba, how are you? So we are just getting in here like that. And going all the way down. Oh. Just one. Make sure that my open end is at the same side, like that. Now I'm going to sew the 1/4 of an inch. Now, one of the nice things about this is once you've cut your 4.5 inch squares, there is no need for you to be measuring and squaring up. That's the beauty of this. Right, I'm going to put those right sides together like that, and sew those 2 together. And bring in the other 2 and put those right sides together. So I've got a row of 6. Okay. Now I think, oh, I completely that. Never mind. Don't think so. Do you know what? I've come to the conclusion that I have male thought processes because I really don't multitask very well. Okay, so I've got a row of 6 now. Okay, we're going to take our puff mat and we are going to place that on there. Okay, that's okay. Do I put it on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can put it on any side now, really. We put it on this side, like that. There. That works, I think. Yeah. That'll do, pig. That'll do. So, we've frozen again. No. It was just taking time to catch up. So we're going to pin this now. Okay. We're going to pin this and we are going to nest our seams. Alright. Just because we're quilters and that's what we do. So I'm just going to marry up my seams and I'm going to stick a pin in there like that. And then I'm going to marry up that seam there like that. And that one like that. Now doing this, oh, it's the other way. Doing this, you start off with one end and you would stuff this, okay? Stuff it and then you add, and you have to add them in your rows. I would imagine that you could do them in sections and then sew them together, but if you do that you'll have to sew them together with 2 full bits like that, which I would imagine would be quite a lot to be fiddling with. So I would always add your empty one on. So I'm going to take that and we're just going to sew that to our puff ball. Okay. See, told you this was easy. Hiya Patty, how are you? How's the weather going in with you? I am the weather girl. I'd like to know what the weather's doing. I don't know why. So we're just sewing these together. Now I did find that a couple of mine weren't had sort of like blown and I had to go back in over them, so check them carefully, and it's probably easier to check them as you're doing this bit, you know, before you go on to the next bit, because to get it under the machine when it's all full of puff, I think that's going to be one of those ones with a bit of a... So you just working your way through, just keep checking and readjusting, or pin more. That's the other thing that you could do, is pin it more. It would probably be the proper way to do it, is make sure that your pins are all pinned down. I'm just readjusting, making sure that my raw edges are together. Nearly there. It's coming towards the end. Like that. did you get down to see the Gavin and Stacey thing? I know that you were going to come and see it, but we weren't around on the days that they were filming. So I didn't know whether you'd actually made it down here. There we go. So I have now added a row on the bottom. Okay, take out the pins there. Oh, look! And I put it up against and I just didn't notice. Never mind. Never mind. I'm not unpicking it now. So it's caught. Yeah, it's caught all the way through. Now you could, before you put this row onto there, you could always make sure that you close the row off. That would be one way of making sure that there's no way that the stuffing would come out. I did start doing that and then got to the end and thought it'd be quicker to do this. So I got some fluff out of a cushion at home. I didn't worry about what I was stuffing it with because I'm going to sit on it pretty much. So we are stuffing our little puffs. Okay, so we're going just a snowball of fluff. You'll be able to tell whether or not it's, that's too much. And I stick my thumbs and push it into the corners to make sure that it at least reaches the corners there. So small snowball, and push it in like that. My job. And we just go along here and oh, you couldn't in the end. Never mind. You'll be able to watch it on the telly. I saw you know the mural that's around the corner on the wall of I know it's mural. The mural that somebody came and did of all the Gavin and Stacey characters. I saw a reel of him doing it. He's done quite a bit. He's done something in Pontypridd as well on the side of a building. He's done quite a bit of arty graffiti. So we're making sure that it's gone to the bottom. And you want to make you don't want to stuff them so that you can't do anything with them, but you want a fair amount of stuffing in there because if you're going to sit on it, they're going to go flat. So, and then you're going to pin them with the tuck in it. Okay, so I'm better off doing it from the side. So you're going to make sure that it's all shoved in. You're going to put your 1/4 inch tuck in there and then you're going to pin that down. Just like that. Try not to get DNA on it. So we've had Jill in the shop today and they've just come back off a retreat. It's fine. She comes to our retreats as well, so she's allowed. And she went to the one in Monmouth with Joe Rio. And it's done in the studios, the recording studios that all the big people like the Beatles and Tom Jones and Led Zeppelin and that lot all used to go to. Deep Purple, Ozzy Osbourne. So I really want to go. It would be all right for me to go on a retreat somewhere else, wouldn't it? You know? I don't need to pinch their ideas. I just, you know, I just want to go and geek at the studio. So there we go, there's that one. So we're just folding, pleating. You want to make sure that when you pleat it, before you put it down, the one underneath needs to be flat, okay? You want it to be flat because otherwise you're going to end up with a crease in your bottom piece if you do it too much, okay? So you need to make sure that you're keeping it, you're going to crease that but hold the other one flat, okay, like that. Last one. So I asked Sarah, I asked her how she would finish it off, because I was thinking I'd put a fleece on the bottom and bind it. That's how I would have done it. But Sarah says to bag it out, which I think is probably an easier way to finish it off. Let's just do this last row of stitching and then we are done. Look at that. Oh. I'm moving here. Get a bit confident then. So we're just moving it along. Just make sure that your bottom fabric is in situ and not sliding around. Like that. There we go. So you just pull the pins out now, like that. And there we have our buff thingy. See, it's a lot easier than you think it's going to be, isn't it? A lot easier. I mean, that literally took me an afternoon. But I definitely would say it needs to be bigger. If you're going to use it as a lap quilt or anything, I mean, that will sit on my lap, but that would be it. You know, it's just going to sit on the top of my lap. It ain't going to do anything. However, my dog Rufio would love it. And even Betty then would try and curl up on it as well. So, right. Ta-da! No one can get too many retreats. I totally understand. I think that I should have to do that. I'd like to go on a clothes making retreat as well. And Lynn Quine, I really want to go on one of her retreats and learn how to use my embroidery machine properly. A unicorn head. Oh, Caroline, you need to share. Please put a thing up on Gigglers. I'd love to see one of these in the shape of a unicorn head. I think that would be really cool. You'll be watching light rain. Yeah, well, it's not actually raining now, touch wood. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, hurricane. Ooh. Yeah, I know that you're going into hurricane season, aren't you, over there? So fingers crossed for you. You'd pinch their ideas. Well, yeah. Well, she's got 2 quilting machines. It just sounded amazing, absolutely amazing. So I'd like to go. You want to go for a relaxing time sewing? No student report. Yes, I'd like to do that just for me. So I'm going to put those on my list. Machine embroidery with Lynn, and quilt retreat with Joe. That would be nice. So there we go. There we are. All sorted. So Caroline's going to put a picture up of her unicorn head, which would be really cool, I think. And I love this charm pack. It was old one. But yeah, I can smell my mum. I'm off now. I'm going to go and have my lunch, and I will see you Thursday. Sarah will be here tomorrow evening. She's got a bag she's doing, even though she's on holiday. She loves you all that much that she's going to come and do a live, and book on the Irish chain. Come on, get on with it. Go and book it. Give yourself some sewing time. Give yourself permission. I'll see you soon. I'll see you Thursday. Ta-ra.